Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to bring you another pick and prediction video for the NFL. So you can see my records 3 and 4 because I only did week one, then it took a few weeks off because I wanted to let the NFL kind of settle down. So that's why not so many games. Gonna have more games though as the season progresses. Though in this video, I only got 3 games for you. So let's go ahead and get into those games. Trying to get over 500. Let's see if we can make it happen. I'm gonna start things off with the Giants visiting the Saints. The Giants, upstart team, started a rookie quarterback in Jackson Dart last week, pulled off the upset. When it was one of the more popular upset picks to pick last week, I didn't pick it, and it worked out. You got that rookie backfield, Jackson Dart at quarterback, Cam Scatterbo at running back. Both of them make winning plays. When I say that, what I mean is you're not seeing big stats being put up, but they're making key scrambles on third down, or a key grab on third and down to keep the drive alive, keep the Giants offense on the field. In this game, they're going to go against the New Orleans Saints, who, in my opinion, quite honestly, they're the worst team in the NFL. But they're coming in as a 1.5 point favorite. That might be because the Giants got that all rookie backfield and Malik Neighbors is out. When you look at this game, look at it like this. The Giants' run defense, it's a liability. It's one of the worst run defenses in the league, 29th in the league. If you have a very good rush game, you can expose that. The Saints are 10th in the league running the football. But as looking at the stats, 10th in the league, if you're watching them play, if you're watching the game, do you really think the Saints are the 10th best rush offense in the league? Alvin Kamara, 30 years old, or basically 30-year-old running back, he's been fading as the weeks have gone on, which is kind of what I expect. I don't think he's got that in him anymore. I don't think he's that same type of running back that we saw years ago. So when we're saying the Saints and their rush offense against the 29th ranked rush defense, I just don't see it playing out like that. I'm not saying Kamara won't have some good runs in this game. Kendre Miller won't have some good runs. But to be able to exploit the Giants' rush defense, I don't see it working out like that. On the flip side of that, the Saints' pass defense is terrible. 29th in the NFL, allowing 8 yards per attempt. They can't cover. They can't cover zone. They can't cover man. I know they don't. The Giants don't have Malik Neighbors, but with Wan'Dale Robinson and the other guys they got enough to be able to hit plays against them in the pass game. So this is a game I think you're going to see Jackson Dart do a little more than what he did last week passing the ball. I think you're going to see him hit more plays through the air in this one and be able to keep the Giants offense moving and put some points on the board. Can Spencer Rattler match that? The Saints, with Spencer Rattler 31st in the league in their pass offense yards per attempt. So they're not making efficient plays. There's zero explosion with the Saints. Be quite honest with you, the Saints, like I said, they're the worst team in the NFL. Their offense has no explosion. They're not hitting plays downfield. They don't hit any big plays on the ground. They have one run play over 20 yards this season. There's nothing happening with them as far as hitting big plays against a Giants team that's their secondary is actually been pretty good. So now you're looking at the Giants stacking the box, stuffing Alvin Kamara, or that's the attempt to stuff Alvin Kamara. Now you're expecting what Spencer Rattler hit plays down the field when they haven't done it all season. I don't see that happening. So I like the Giants. I'll take the plus 1.5 in this one, but I'm also probably going to do a money line in this game too. Again, if you're telling me that the Saints are the favorite, I think the Saints are the worst team in the NFL. I don't know if they can win a game. I like the Giants to go ahead and win this one. Moving on to the next game, got the Denver Broncos visiting the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles coming into this game as a 4.5 point favorite in this one. This one's kind of interesting though. So let's look at the Eagles offense, how it compares with the Broncos defense. First, we start with the passing game. If you play fantasy football, you already know what it is with Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown. It's not happening. They're not calling pass plays, and when they do call pass plays, Jalen Hurts isn't really slinging it. He's not throwing it down the field. He's taking off running quite a bit. In terms of yards per game, pass offense yards per game, the Eagles are 31st in the league in pass offense yards per game. They're not doing it. They're not throwing down the ball down the field. They're not making anything happen. Now you're going against a Broncos pass defense in terms of pass completion percentage, third in the league, right? In terms of pass rush pressure rate, first in the league. So you're going to have, you think about it like this, the Broncos pass rush is going to be on Jalen Hurts. They already don't throw the ball down the field. So you're going to see a lot of short passes. And you're going against a secondary, Patrick Surtain, PS2, and Riley Moss out there. They're going to be challenging these receivers. I don't see the Eagles getting a lot going through the air. Then you look at it on the ground game. Okay. Well, Saquon Barkley, great running back, of course, right? But he's averaging only 3.1 yards per carry. And as a team, they're averaging 3.5 yards a carry. That's 28th in the league. And that's because Jalen Hurts takes off, like I say, he takes off running quite a bit. But against this Broncos front seven, how much are they going to get going on the ground? Saquon, 3.1 yards per carry, you can't expect to say, okay, but now in this game, he's going to turn it around. I don't see that happening. So for me, the Eagles, offensively, they're not going to move the ball a lot. They're not going to score a lot. Go to the flip side of that, though. The Eagles, number one pass defense in the league in terms of completion percentage. So now you're going against Bo Nix. Bo Nix, second year quarterback. He's had his issues, but he's more efficient this season so far than Jalen Hurts is. But that said, against his secondary, I don't see Bo Nix with Cortland Sutton and these guys moving the ball constantly, consistently down the field in this game. Eagles got their work cut out them in the run game, though. Their rush defense averages 4.8 yards per carry, which is 26th in the NFL. You're going against J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. Both of them are averaging over 5 yards per carry. So if I'm going to look at this game, and I was to say, man, these are two teams that are playing well, even though the Broncos are 2-2. Two teams statistically that are playing well. I would say, I'm sorry, statistically, Denver's playing well. The Eagles aren't, right? But on the win-loss record, the Eagles undefeated. The Broncos are 2-2. But who looks like the better team when you look at the box score, when you look at the numbers? Man, the Broncos look like the better team. You can't say that the Eagles are going to blow up and throw up a bunch of points in this game against this Broncos defense. And the Broncos on the other side of that, you could say that Bo Nix and that running game, they would probably have more successful drives in this game than Philly will. So because of that, because I don't think Philly's going to move the ball that much, I don't think they're going to score the ball that much. I'm taking Denver with the plus 4.5. And again, this is a game I wouldn't be mad at you if you money line and say, hey, Denver's going to give Philly their first loss of the season. But in terms of this, I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos with the plus 4.5. And then moving on to the final game, we got the Detroit Lions visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Lions coming in at minus 10-point favorite. You guys watch the Bengals. You watch them on Monday night against those Denver Broncos. You saw a few things. One, they can't block, right? They can't block anybody. They are second in terms of being the second most pressured team in the NFL, only behind the Tennessee Titans. And then you got under tons of pressure, and then you got Jake Browning, who's basically stinking up the joint ever since he's stepped in for Joe Burrow. He's struggling. He's getting no help from the O-line, but he's struggling. Then he's getting no help from the running game either to get some balance, take some pressure off, get the pass rush off him. Chase Brown's averaging 2.3 yards per carry. Back in the summer, you play fantasy football, he was all the rage, man. Make sure you draft Chase Brown. A man's averaging 2.3 yards a carry. 2.3 against the number 8 ranked rush defense in the league. To me, that says stonewall. So now it's all about Jake Browning. Can he navigate the pass rush of Aiden Hutchinson and the Detroit Lions to be able to find Jamar Chase and T. Higgins against a Detroit Lions secondary that's not good? I mean, what do you think? Jake Browning doing that again? I mean, I know the Lions secondary ain't that good, but let's be honest. And then he's going to have to keep pace with a Detroit Lions offense, right? Gibbs and Montgomery combined are averaging 130 yards rushing per game. They're picking up where they've left off over the last couple of years. They're killing. Number 6 rush offense in the league. Jared Goff is efficient as they come. 73 completion percentage, 7.6 yards per attempt, 9-2 touchdown interception ratio. They're moving the ball. And then you can say that the Bengals might be the worst defense in the league. I mean, I would put that on Dallas, but they're in the contention for that, right? 21st in the league versus the pass, 26th in the league versus the run. Detroit's scoring in this game. They're going to score and score and score. So can Jake Browning keep pace with a bad O-line, with no running game, and the fact that he's Jake Browning? To me, if you want to buy the half point, take this down to 9.5, I wouldn't knock you, because there's nothing in this game. I mean, football gods, what are you going to do to me? But there's nothing in this game that says that this game should not be a double-digit victory for Detroit. I don't see it. I don't see how Cincinnati's going to move the ball consistently to keep pace, and I don't see how they stop Detroit's offense. So because of that, man, go ahead and give me Detroit late at 10. Again, I wouldn't be mad at you if you bought the half point just to make sure, but this should be a double-digit victory for sure. So anyways, that wraps it up. Those 3 games, my 3 games for the NFL week. Again, not a lot of games this week. Hopefully we get more in the coming weeks. Take care. Or, well, if you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And take care. Woo!
Look, I just been keeping my poise, made by the million, but